There you go. All right. You can't think of everything all at once, okay? All right. So, does anybody have anything new that they've come across since we last met that they'd like to share? Hmm? No? Just been working. Everybody's just working, I assume. Yeah.
I've got I bought a typeface once from someone off Behance, and I got a random email saying check out this new one, and there he gives them for free. You can donate if you want,
Yeah.
but I just typed zero because that's how much money I have. Um, and so
Most
I
students
got a
do.
cool new typeface.
Can you share it in the thread,
Yeah,
in the message channel,
yeah, I will drop it in there.
or just the link, to the person's
Oh,
Behance?
okay, yeah, yeah, I'll just pull it up.
Yeah, just go ahead and do that. Share it in the
Okay,
message, the person's Behance. That's great.
will do.
If you're not familiar with Behance, and I'm just going to assume not everybody is familiar with it. Behance is a kind of creative Pinterest portfolio kind of community thing. It's where a lot of people share what they do, whether you're a photographer or a designer or a writer or illustrator, or I mean, it really is. Yeah, it's pretty much where creators uh, share their stuff, and it's very similar to a lot of the other stuff out there. Oh, you had to make one for illustration class. Okay. Oh, you had to make a typeface. Is that right, Emily? Is that what you're referring to, Emily? Yes.
No, Behance. We had to make a
Oh, you had to
Behance
make a
for a while.
Behance. Gotcha. Yeah. So, if you're not familiar with Behance, it's a great resource too for research. Just like a lot of the other ones, you can kind of come in here. They have these main categories: graphic design, illustration, photography, UI, UX, and also 3D art. So just tons and tons of wonderful things. I need to log in. Let me log in and then you guys can see better here. I think that's my login. Hopefully it is. Yeah, there you go. Now I can see more. So yeah, it's just a great resource. So I highly recommend a lot of, everybody look into this and use it. And then even create your own page. This is one I've had for a while. Let's see here. It goes back quite a few years, just from random projects to personal projects, transfers a San Diego band to professional projects to passion projects. Yeah, I don't really use it much anymore though, personally. Carl, let me see here real quick. This is the oh, nice. Kind of a real thick, classic sans serif. Extra, extra bold. Nice. Real, that's cool. So what do you like about this typeface?
I like how bold it is. I'm actually kind of irritated about all the sans serif, and I kind of get tired of seeing them.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't know. It looks a little different. I haven't really analyzed it, but
Yeah.
it's really thick.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how do you feel like it's different than a lot of the classic typefaces of like Helvetica and things like that? Because, it's definitely a very, very classic style, like, you know, extra bold style sans serif. So, yeah, it's clean. It's very clean. I dig it.
Yeah, it comes with 9 weights.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's good.
Mhm.
Well, we can talk more about it in next week's class because we're going to talk about typography. Cool. All right. right, so going back to our announcements real quick, everyone. I think that was, yeah, that was it. That was it as far as what's on here. So for the calendar, I'll be updating the calendar to reflect our next assignment, which we'll go over here real soon. Okay, that covers that. Is anybody using any? You don't really need AI these days, unless you're actually using AI to help you with your sitemaps and things like that. But let's jump over to Figma, and we're going to go through the presentation here. All right, so today's lecture, we touched on this just a little bit, I believe, in the second lecture. It might have been the process lecture, if I recall correctly, the first week. But now we're going to kind of flesh out all of the attributes and all of the theories and things like that, and the things to consider in responsive design. So today, I already started recording it. Same thing with the breaks, participation, chat, all that good stuff. The lecture is responsive design. We are going to spend time reviewing and discussing. We're going to do the breakout sessions again for the research and strategy review. And then finally, we're going to get into the next assignment, which is user personas. All right. So I love, love, love this quote. It applies to what we're getting into whenever and also the next assignment. So, and I have a typo. Look at that. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, was somebody going to correct me on that? No. No. Okay. So anyways, I love this quote because it does cover the theory. Like when you talk about responsive design, and then we get into the next assignment, user personas, this quote sums up a lot of this stuff. So people ignore design that ignores people. So if your website isn't responsive, then you are ignoring a certain segment of people. So if somebody cannot use your website on their mobile device, or maybe even their tablet, or it doesn't, work on their desktop, or it doesn't work across multiple browsers, then you are absolutely ignoring a certain segment of your audience. So this is a really, really good quote by this guy, and I looked him up. I believe he's an illustrator, from what I could find. So not really familiar with him, but I think he's an illustrator. So this is actually just an AI image of my concept here of multiple screens, right? And this doesn't even truly reflect how many different screens are out there. I do love the one that's almost right in the dead center, that really weird, kind of long, extended iPhone that I don't know why AI did, but that's why I love AI. It does really wacky stuff like that. But when you consider like all the different variations of screens out there and how it's changing and how we talked about it in the first week, and how I asked anybody, like, does anybody have one of those flip open style phones that are really wacky, that actually kind of fold open? I don't think anybody said that they did, but it's just, it's amazing that our world has evolved into just these massive variations of screen times. But honestly, that's the best thing, because actually, I'll ask you, why do you think it's so important to have so many different screen sizes? Come on. Or I'm going to call on somebody. I'm going to start calling on people. Different people.
Because there's so many devices in the world.
But why, Minnow? Why are there so many different devices in the world?
I'm not sure about that one.
Okay. So you think about that for a second, and I'd like for somebody else to help sort of with that idea. Why is there so many shaver? Yes. Why is there so many different screen sizes out there for us humans?
I was gonna say like different, you're doing different activities or different things at different points in your day. You know, whether you're sitting on your couch and you need a large TV, or you're in your car and you need a small little, map size
Yeah.
screen, or whatever the case may be.
That's a absolutely brilliant answer. You're 100% right. I, I hope somebody else is going to have another sort of variation on this question. So let's see here. Um, I'm sorry, I don't think I've pronounced your name right. Is it Josh?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
I did. I said that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can you elaborate? Different designs and technology. Please elaborate.
So when I think about that question, I think of this answer because when we see like Android or iPhones, we can see that there's different design choices that both companies decided to go approach, and also how they function as well because of the technology that they made.
Yep. Absolutely right. Yep. Uh, Sam, elaborate. You said to do different jobs. Explain.
Sorry, I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can. I can.
Okay. So I was thinking like if you work a job where you need to see like something printed on a mass scale, you might need like a bigger screen, or if you just need to look at something small and quickly on your phone or have access to something all the time, like you're out in the field, you might need a smaller screen.
Mhm. Yep. You're 100% right. Absolutely. Bree, you say elaborate on your contribution.
Um, well, just I just noticed like as I've gotten older, like things just keep getting bigger. Like they keep coming out with like bigger iPhones or like after iPhones they came out with iPads. So you still have to be able to use the older devices as well as adapt to the new one.
Yep. Absolutely. There is one more answer that nobody has given me yet.
Is it because people all have their own personal preferences?
That too.
Okay.
That's a good one. Melinda, I'm hoping somebody is gonna give me this one answer.
I think maybe it's just to keep people buying more stuff.
Damn, that's a good one. You are 100% right about that too. It is about consumption. Yeah, because most people, a lot of people like the latest and greatest thing, right? And so that's a great point too. I wasn't thinking of that. Good one. Carolyn, yes, go for it.
We all upgrade our devices at different times. Some people get the latest and greatest every year, and some people have a phone that could still be a S11 or a whatever. So
Yep,
everyone's walking around with different sizes.
yep,
So you have to design for all those different sizes.
absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna, at least the people I can see, I want you to do something for a second. I want you to hold up the hand that is your primary hand that you write with, and just hold it up to the camera. I'm right-handed. Okay. Yeah, kind of pull it back so we can see the size of your hand. All right. Okay. Now take a look at it. You notice everybody's hand size is of course is going to be different. And some people are right-handed, some people are left-handed. Some people wear glasses. Okay, you can put your hand down now. So I was hoping somebody might get into this because to just take a moment to think about it, right? I'm 5'11". I'm right-handed. I weigh about 180, and that's my physical frame. But Somebody might be 5'2". They might be left-handed. Do you think that it's going to be comfortable for somebody that might be 5'2" and left-handed to have like a large iPhone? Don't you? Yes, right. Ergonomics. So nobody talked about that. Just think about the physical ergonomics of screen sizes and why that makes a difference. Because my wife, she doesn't like the big phones. She likes the smaller phones because, and it has nothing to do with like, you know, she watches way more videos on her phone than I do, but it has nothing to do with like watching the video. It has usability preferences. She doesn't like to have a phone that is so big that, you know, she can't use her thumb to be able to reach the top of the screen. So she prefers the smaller phone. So yes, Carl, ergonomics. Ergonomics are absolutely considered, and why we have so many different screen sizes is because not everybody's made the same. Not everybody is, you know, got the same size hands or, you know, right, left, and all that stuff. So ergonomics also plays a key factor in why we have so many different screens out there. But every single thing every answer that you gave me here, spot on. Absolutely. All of it factors into why we have so many screens today. So, okay. Just wanted to pause on that a little bit because I think that's a really good talking point for us to consider, because we start, whoops, hold on. There you go. When you're considering responsive design, you're thinking about it from a high level, and you're really thinking, whoops, sorry. There you go. I knocked my camera out. So when you're really thinking about why responsive design has evolved over the last few decades and why it's so important, all of these things need to be considered. Activities, different designs and technology, different jobs, tech advances, ergonomics, you know, all of these things have to be considered. So, all right, good. So what is responsive design? Responsive design is a web design concept that ensures a website's layout and content adapt seamlessly to various screen sizes and devices. This means the site is optimized for viewing on desktop computers, tablets, and smartphones for now, right? If you have a VR headset, well, then we saw it. I think we talked about it in the first class. When you look at the Apple Vision Pro and some of these other, like either VR or AR experiences, you can, if you have the Apple Vision Pro and you open up a web browser, not sure if anybody has seen that, maybe some of you have, you can stretch and resize like a web browser in the Apple Vision Pro environment. You can literally like open it up and make it huge, or you can make it really small and put it over to the side. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, so this is what I'm talking about. So if you look at this, it basically, Apple Vision Pro mostly is it's a hybrid. It's a augmented reality and a virtual reality headset. So, you know, when you're looking at this, let's go over here. Here you go. Their Apple Vision Pro, you can put it on. We'll watch this fella here. Boom. It projects what is in front of you. So just to let you know, he's not looking through the lens. A lot of people don't know that. So if you watch right, he put it on and he could see what's around him. But the Apple Vision Pro have cameras that project what's in front of him on the internal screen, which is pretty wild. So, anyways, you watch what's happening. He's opening up things. It is being sort of displayed over top of his real environment, which is considered augmented reality. He's interacting with the apps. Someday that we'll all be laughing at this and how goofy it looks. I don't know if anybody has ever read Ready Player One. Has anybody read the book? Has anybody seen the movie? No? You've seen, yeah, Ezekiel? You've seen the movie? Have you read the book? Yeah. Read the book. The headset is very similar, and as a matter of fact, Apple, like this opening scene right here, they ripped off the movie. This transition, they do in the movie. Kind of funny. Boom. So anyways, yeah, it's a really good book. It's a really good book. So if you look at this, and I want to, I'm talking about this because this is important for our discussion when we consider, like, this is, of course, this is sort of what he's seeing, but we're looking at him as an audience. You're able to put up all of these different sort of screens in the Apple Vision Pro and also the Oculus Rift. So, yes, I'm trying. But you're able to open up a web browser within your Apple Vision Pro environment, and you're able to work in an immersive experience. So you could watch a movie, you could browse the web. He's browsing the web right now because that's the one in the middle. You see it? So he's browsing the web. But he also has all of these other windows open. So, I say that because when we go back to what we're talking about here, desktop computers, tablets, and smartphones, that's not actually everything that's current. AR and VR is the true future of how we can browse the web and also look at other things. I mean, he could have multiple browser windows open and be scrolling and interacting with them all at the same time. Boom, 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 just like that. So this is our future, right? Our future is not these. This is not our future. This is going to go away. I mean, technically, it probably could be phased out, I would say, in 5 years. But the reason why they won't do that is because they make too much money off of this. Way too much money off of these little devices. So right now, like these products are still so expensive that the average person, nobody in this class has one. I don't have one. I think, what do they average around? I think this averages around maybe like, is it like $3,000 or something? Something like that. Like, yeah, it's very, very expensive. But this is our future. Any thoughts and questions about this before I move on?
I feel like it's going to totally mess up your eyes.
Well, I mean, that's what they said about TVs too back in the day, which it did. I'm sure it did. That's why most of us wear glasses these days. But there is quite a bit of feedback though, Melinda, whenever it comes to these type of headsets that you get what they call like eye fatigue and also like perception fatigue. So I don't know if anybody has spent some time looking into these things, because when you kind of put these headsets on, and especially when you step into a virtual reality, which is fully immersive, that's not real, your brain truly needs a moment to adjust, because you literally have you're tricking your brain into what is the new reality of what it's consuming. And so, our brains do need like some adjustment whenever it's, when you put on these immersive headsets, because it's just such a different type of like experience. And it can be extremely jarring at times for some people, but it also can be incredibly useful for future technologies. I won't go too much on a tangent on this, but there's two circumstances where I think it's just absolutely phenomenal. There's one company that has used these headsets for senior care, and what they've done is they brought in these headsets for senior care communities for the people that cannot travel anymore, or they can't see their families. So let's say their family lives wherever across the country or different, wherever. And they're able to put on these headsets and either travel to go see the Grand Canyon, and they've never seen the Grand Canyon. And so this elderly person that has never been able to experience this in their entire life can now experience this immersive, like, kind of platform of virtual reality with this headset on. It's a very, very positive use of technology. There's also this other one that ethically some people don't really have, they struggle with. There's one company, and this is very Black Mirror. Somebody said Black Mirror. This is very Black Mirror. You can, they sort of bring back your deceased relatives and bring them back into a virtual reality environment where you can kind of talk to them and interact with them. It's pretty wild. It's very, very Black Mirror technology. So, anyways, you're going to be designing for this. If you do want to design for this, go for it. Let me know. But this is our future. So, all right. Next, the goal of responsive design is to create and optimize website experiences for everyone, regardless of their device. But here's another thing to consider. Regardless of their physical capabilities. Accessibility is, and we touched on it earlier, but accessibility is a very important thing for a lot of companies out there, because let's say, again, I'll go back to the senior care. What if your website is, your target audience is for 50 and above? Well, most people 50 and above, their eyesight is starting to not be as good as it used to be. So you need to make sure that your website is responsive enough that it can accommodate larger font sizes. So what if I need I set my browser font sizes to be extra large? Well, your website needs to be able to accommodate those variations of preset font sizes. A lot of people don't talk about those things. So if you've upped like your font sizes because your eyesight's not good, then that site needs to be able to accommodate that in a responsive way. Make sense? Yep. Yep. I know some people like enlarge their screen, because if you kind of come over here, so watch Apple. Some people go, I'm going to hit Command plus. Look what I'm doing, right? So let's say I have, again, bad eyesight and I have to increase my browser viewability, like viewing to like 50 to 75%. Well, I need the site to be responsive enough to be able to accommodate that. See that? So again, accessibility. Apple, yes, Carl, just one second. Apple is probably one of the best examples out there for a site that is designed and built for the ultimate accessibility, like to literally accommodate everybody out there. Because one thing it also accommodates is high contrast, right? It's almost white. I think it might not be pure white, but it has a very, very high contrast viewing, layout and color palette. So, Carl, yeah.
When it comes to enlarging the screen, and it enlarges all the type and and stuff starts overlapping. I've been on some web pages where I zoom in like that and it becomes unreadable
Yeah.
because there's so much overlap. Is that something that like I would need to worry about as a visual designer, or is that like on the coding side? Because it's like two different jobs, right?
It's everybody's job. You need to
Okay.
consider it when you're designing. But again, like that's why it's so important what we're doing up front, what we're doing right now, the strategy phase, and understanding the next phase personas is making sure that what you're doing is you're at least designing and building your site for your core target audience. You're not Apple. So you're not your core target audience, literally isn't 16-year-olds to 60-year-olds. Like really, Apple's target audience probably has the largest variation. But my site, APX Hockey, the target audience, oh, Bree, who's that? Sorry. Oh, look who that is.
This is my dog Stone.
Oh, hi, Stone. Oh. So we're always going to have to, if we see a dog, we'll have to say hi to the dog, okay? So anyways, my target audience for APX is primarily parents of high school, like junior high and high school students. So I would say like my core target audience ranges from, I would say maybe, mid 40s to 60-year-old. That's my core target audience. And of course, it's up in the Midwest because that's where this place is at. That's the core target audience. But it does open up to other states that might want to bring their high school students and their students in for this program. But if I enlarge this site, again, this is built on Squarespace. It's holding up pretty damn good. For a Squarespace site, look at this. I'm at 175, and that's still holding up very well. So, yeah. All right. Any other comments, questions about that? Okay, good. All right. So, next. Website breakpoints. So, breakpoints are specific points defined in the CSS of a website where the layout and design change to adapt to different screen sizes. Breakpoints allow designers to control how content and layout adjust at specific screen widths. So we're going to go back to Apple here and APX. So we're gonna resize the Apple site. This is my screen size is kind of a standard. I have a MacBook Pro 16-inch, and I'd say, I have it at a pretty standard size. I don't have it smaller. I don't have it bigger. It's a standard size viewing ratio. So we're going to resize. Okay. This is probably about a tablet width right here. Go a little bit smaller. Maybe a mini tablet. We still have a full menu. Notice that? And that's a big menu. Did anything change in it? No, nothing has changed so far. Because what Apple has done is they've given their navigation items enough space in the main nav, and they also have chosen a font size and a font that supports what they feel like is a good readability and a good viewability. I mean, really, there's no other company to truly like research when it comes to usability, accessibility, and design. I mean, we all know Apple is truly one of the best. So, all right, so we're gonna keep resizing down. Still holding out. We still got a main nav. Boom, there it is. That's a break point. Boom. See that? So what Apple has done is in their CSS, we'll go back over here. I'm going to large, medium. This is what we're talking about right now. So what Apple has done is Apple has, where's my browser at? Where'd my browser go? There you go. Couldn't find the browser. So, whoops. Just trying to move it over. So what Apple has done, really, come on, cut it out. Let's go back down. Apple has given its code a standardized breakpoint of whatever that size is right there, whatever is under that size based off their main navigation. Now what they've done is they've switched over from a kind of desktop full menu at the top to now what we call a mobile menu. Okay, so while I continue to resize, what else has changed? Anybody tell me?
The width of the text block.
That's definitely changing. We had a breakpoint also of the grid system. Okay, so and the reason why they did that is because they want to maintain a certain amount of like space around their content. So if we go a little bit larger, right, you see how it starts getting kind of close to the outside of the browser. You see how it's getting a little tight, and boom, about right there. That's what changed first, is their grid. Yes, Sam, you're right. That's the other thing that changed. So the first things that started changing is the grid in the middle. Right? It's fixed. It's boom, right there. It went down. And boom. Now the main nav went down to a mobile nav. Now the newsroom, yes, Sam, the newsroom drop down changed. And that's a secondary nav. That's a what we would call, I mean, you can call it secondary nav, you can call it a tertiary nav, but basically a subset nav. There's quite a few different sort of terms for that layer of navigation. And now what ends up happening is we have another breakpoint. Boom. And this next breakpoint accommodates true mobile phones. So it just went down to what I would consider the smallest size, which is a real mobile phone device size. So we had about, I'd say about 3 different breakpoints. Okay. Let's go big. The largest desktop. They have a fixed width site. Okay. It is fixed width. It's not like mine. You see mine, how it like, it kind of, well, it like some of this internal stuff is sort of fixed a bit, but Apple has a true fixed width, like in the inside, right? All of this stuff is set to a certain margin. So this is just sitting right inside of a margin. And they just have white space on the outside of it. All right. Their main navigation has a maximum width too. It's not spreading now based off the width of my browser. It is got a max width. Same thing with the secondary nav. All right. So what we're going to do here is that's sort of one size. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're counting the different things that happen. 4. 4 different things happen based off of responsive design and breakpoints. And I'm really kind of like breaking this down because I think this is the best way to learn, because you just don't really even know. Like, we just kind of use websites and we don't even really think about things, but these are things you have to think about now that you're getting into this profession and you're getting into user experience and usability and interaction design and being able to QA something and be able to work within grids and things like this. These are all, again, that Swiss Army knife that you have to be. You have to consider all of these things whenever it comes to responsive design. It really is not just a small subject. It's a very, very large subject to kind of break down and unpack here. Sure. Let me take a breath. Comments, questions, that's a lot. A lot.
So there's the fixed width thing, and what's the term that you would use for the APX website you design?
Well, it also well, it's not really fixed width. It's in that. I want to be careful how I use that term, Melinda, because I don't want to confuse you. Because it does have a fixed width when it comes to the margins of the way the site is built, because you're seeing, right? It's not expanding and it's not opening and changing, based off of how large this browser is going. So there is a fixed margin and page width. But there are certain sites out there that, let me go to my personal site. So when it comes to my personal site, you see how what I have is my main navigation on the right is not like the spacing between my main navigation is not changing, but it's hugging the right side. And then my website name is hugging the left side. So it is opening up and it is changing as far as like, because I have like told my design that I want the main navigation to be sort of fixed to the edges of the site, where Apple has a center alignment. They have things fixed within a center grid. So when you change the width of my site, if I can grab it here, you can see it's a bit more fluid. Does that make sense, Melinda? Like if you're watching my particular site, things are truly resizing and changing its space There are no breakpoints. You notice how my grid's not snapping and changing like that? It's not doing that because I've designed my site to be a lot more sort of, to have a more fluid design. So as I continue, yes, Janet, go ahead.
I have a question as well. How do you decide how many breakpoints to create? Or is there like a standard number, like how Apple has like four that we
Yeah.
counted?
Again, I'm going to use Apple as a great standard. If you're looking for just a generic standard out there, you could let's go over here and ask ChatGPT. I know you guys love it. What are the standard website break points for a website similar to apple.com? I know you thought I'd know that right off the top of my head, didn't you? So there you go. Good old ChatGPT says the extra small ones are only a width of 375 pixels. So layout should be single column, large touch-friendly buttons, hidden navigation, hamburger menu. Next size up, we're kind of going to up to 479. And then as we continue to go to really large ones, you're looking at 1440 pixels width-wise. But you look at Apple-like considerations, container max width, they're saying that it's a 1440 pixel to 1920. So there you go. That's a very quick answer for you. Because you could set your own. I mean, you really could. You could identify based off your personas. You could say, but these are pretty much the standard sizing. If you go to Figma, let's look at this here real quick. So if I was to create, actually, let me just go over here. Disregard, this is a current project I'm working on. Disregard that. But if I go down here and I want to use to create my frame, it gives you presets right here, Janet, in Figma. So an Android compact is only a width of 412 pixels wide. Android medium, 700. But then you look at like the iPhone 16s, 393 by 852. But when you go up to the Pro Max, you're looking at this guy right here. You're designing 440 by 956. But let's go to kind of a standard tablet, the large tablet, 12.9. Next, you could do, this is honestly the easiest way to do it, Janet. Right here, you're looking at the large MacBook Pro, boom. So you could literally just base everything off of what I just did right now. Unless you want a smaller screen, you just have these presets in Figma, and now you got it. Boom. You just start saying, these are my breakpoints. It's that simple. Figma makes it very, very easy for you. Cool?
Nice, thanks. That makes sense.
Yeah, pretty easy. It's a very easy way to be able to do it. Just lay it out just like that. Start doing your wireframes. You can do your wireframe for your mobile, your wireframe for your iPad if you want, and then your wireframe for your MacBook Pro. That easy. So, okay. Hey, hold on one second. I just want to open up my other window. It's just a little warm in here. Give me a second. Oy, 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 oy. Okay, there you go. I'm back. All right, so that was a good one to unpack. So just to kind of finish what I was talking about with my website, there's really only not that many breakpoints. There's a couple of them. We got this one where we got one, boom. Actually, only one real breakpoint, and it's for mobile. So it went from, whoops. It went from kind of desktop tablet, keeping its two column, to the real only breakpoint, which was mobile. Boom. And it's like, and then what it does is it stacks it vertically. All right. So that was a good one to unpack a little bit here because it's not an easy answer. It really isn't. So large, medium, small. That's kind of what I just showed you over here in Figma. Well, I was in Figma. For this, small, medium, large. So, all right. CSS medium queries, breakpoints are implemented in CSS code, like I was talking about, using media queries. These queries apply to different styles based on screen and device characteristics, such as width and height. Yay, code. That's CSS. Beautiful, right? Not sure if anybody loves looking at that stuff. Yeah, not me. We always want to start off with mobile first. So that's one reason why whenever I was kind of laying this out a little bit, I like to start off with the smallest common denominator. So if, this might be too big, you may want to go, you may want to start off with one that is a bit smaller. Maybe it's just the regular iPhone 6. Right? And I get rid of this one. And I start off with, just an iPhone 6. And I start off with mobile first, right here. And then I accommodate a tablet. And then I accommodate a laptop or desktop. I mean, technically, we could, when we go here, here's also, that this is what Figma is telling you desktop size is, but I don't know. I usually end up preferring to design for a laptop. So like the MacBook Pro 16, I'd rather go that big than this size. Because this size, it's like the regular desktop size is not that much different than the tablet when it's just turned sideways, just like that. So. All right, so we always want to do mobile first design. Mobile first design is an approach where the design process starts with the smallest screens and scales up to larger devices, like I just mentioned. This helps us focus on delivering the most important content and features first, ensuring they are easily accessible on small screens. I am sure that some of you noticed with your corporate website that it did not accommodate these different sizes. So I'm going to ask Donna, are you there?
Yes.
Hi there. How are you today?
Hi. I'm recovering from a cold, so I
Oh,
still sound
I'm
like,
sorry.
you know.
Well, I'll keep this real short. Did you notice, did your corporate website have any difficulties in kind of a mobile first approach or responsiveness?
Yeah, there's no mobile design. It just looks the
Oh,
same.
oh,
It
wow.
looks like old. It's very outdated.
Can you drop it in the meeting chat so I can pull it up? I'm really
Yeah.
curious. I love these kind of discussions, everyone. So I'm going to call on a few of you. So be ready to share. All right. So this is a law firm, right?
Yes.
Oh
Like it's horrifying.
my God. Man, you picked a good one. Good for you to tackle Fitzgerald. I'm not sure how you say that, the other part. Wow. Hey, can anybody answer this? It's kind of a joke. There's a two-part joke answer to this. What do law firms and advertising agencies have in common? Come on, nobody like has
They're
an
each other's
answer.
customers.
What's that?
They're each other's customers.
Sorry, you broke up. I couldn't hear you, Melinda. Say it one more time.
They're a customer to each other.
True, but that's not the joke answer. No, no. They all get paid to lie. Oh, man, I can't believe nobody knew that one. That's a good industry joke, everyone. Remember that one. That's but there's another part. You ever notice that attorneys love to combine their last names to make the agency, right? Have you ever noticed ad agencies do the same thing? Weird, right? Goodby Silverstein. Anybody ever heard of them? Goodby Silverstein is one of the most famous ad agencies. They did the Got Milk campaign. Now, why do advertising agencies and attorneys have so many similar attributes? Why do they both get paid to lie to you? Funny, right? Bet you never thought about that one. Anyways,
We're all
funny industry stuff. What's that?
we're all narcissists.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. And they all get paid way too much to lie to you. Way too much to lie. So, anyways, we could go into a whole conspiracy hole, rabbit hole around that stuff. So, but anyways, um, Donna, this is absolutely amazing. Boom. Yeah, look at this bad boy. So yeah, this is a perfect example of a very dated fixed width site that is absolutely not responsive at all. Let's go to one of these guys. Yeah, none at all. Nope. Okay, let's see here. Joseph, how about you? You there? Nope. All right. I'm sorry, I don't remember how to pronounce your name. Dayana?
Oh, it's uh just Diane.
Diane, I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to how to pronounce everybody's name. So Diane, tell me, is your corporate website, have you noticed, is it responsive? Is it adaptive? Or is it just completely outdated and horrendous?
Oh, it is outdated and it doesn't respond to a smaller screen size.
Can you share it with us, please? Can you drop that in the chat? I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah. I'm gonna share it. Oh, there it is.
Perfect. All right, let's take a look at it here. Oh man, this is another good one. Wow, you guys are going to truly make these sites so much better. All right, so first of all, they're hitting you right with a incredible table that I'm sure is not responsive at all, right, Dana?
Yeah.
No, so let's check this one out. Okay. Oh yeah, I knew it. Look at that. No, it's not responsive at all. There is no mobile version, right? You look at,
No, the only thing that happens is the text shrinks and it's barely readable. It's
wow,
hard.
yeah, look at that. Oof. Yeah, this is definitely another bad one. Look at that. Terrible. Very outdated. Okay, that's a good one. All right, let's see here. Dylan, you there?
I'm here.
All right, Dylan. How about your corporate website? Is it
It has a mobile version, kind of. It's better than the other two that were shown, but let me
can you
get
share it, please?
the link real fast. Yeah.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's check this one out. I'm gonna close out some of my windows, okay? I
The
don't
weird
need
thing about it was that the names of the sections in the menu changed entirely.
oh,
Like when you go into the hamburger menu,
oh,
eventually
really?
it goes
Okay.
into that.
All right.
You have to
So
like
it's
really squish it more.
so it's a little bit responsive right now. There's some breakpoints of sizing, right? So you got a breakpoint right there. Boom.
So and
There's
then
your
go into the
breakpoint.
hamburger menu and you'll see the different. It says different things.
That's not good.
Yep.
Shouldn't do that. Need to keep it consistent. Okay. So let's see here. Let's see the rest of this. Yeah, they're definitely better than the other two we just looked at.
They tried
Yeah,
a
they're
little bit.
definitely trying. So, okay. All right, that's cool. Thank you for sharing. Let's see here. Who I forgot how to say this. Hopefully I'm going to say this correctly. Is it Losib? Losib? Say it again.
Joseph.
Joseph. Sorry. Again, still getting used to this. Thank you for being
No
patient with
worries.
me. How about your corporate website? There
It
you
doesn't
go.
it
Thank you.
doesn't
You were
have the
ready, weren't you?
mobile.
Juno Tech. All right, Juno Tech. Look at that beautiful logo.
Yeah.
They got some bevel effect on that logo. Oof. All right, so what do we got here, Joseph? They got
It's very boring site. It doesn't have the mobile version.
okay. So it's not responsive either. You notice
It
how
it actually has, if you pull up on a phone, it works, but the text bleeds from the boxes. So
okay, so you're saying that if I actually pull it up on
yeah.
my phone, then okay, so you know what's interesting about that theory is that what they've done is this is a really good example. Juno, let me see, junotech.com. Whoops, I didn't type that right. Juno Tech. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, what have they done to be able to like have one experience on your actual mobile device, but it doesn't mimic when I'm on a laptop and I resize it down to mobile? What's your thinking behind that? What has happened there?
I feel like it's definitely coding problem.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, because when I checked on a phone, it's way different.
Okay. Yeah. So then what they've done is just like you mentioned, they have their developer, whoever developed the site, put a bit of code in there that sniffs it out. It's like a little sniffer, and basically it can tell that it is actually you're truly on a mobile device, and it has sniffed it out and is giving you a different experience based off of that sniffer.
Yeah.
But that is not the way to go at all. That's a very old way of like doing things back in the day. They used to do sniffers when we had phones, and they would sniff it out and kind of give you, and that was sort of before true responsive design. Okay. So they would put those sniffers in there because they weren't truly just like developing based off of the right responsive design like capabilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Dylan, using papyrus in the logo. Excellent choice. Better than copper plate. What would you prefer? Comic Sans or papyrus?
It's a tough fucking call.
Yes, Ryan Gosling loved he has PTSD with papyrus. If you're not familiar with that, I don't know which one I'd rather design with first is Comic Sans or papyrus. Probably Comic Sans. But okay, one other person, Marissa, calling on you. Can you share? There you go. And oh, okay, you're the architect. You're doing the architect side. All right. So tell us about this.
It is responsive. It's just a little bit simple, in my opinion. Like when you go to scroll on the little drop down menu, each page is just like super long. Like you just have to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Hey there. It's like a dating app photo.
It is.
You want to date us? We're your architect. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, these are pretty long pages. Oh, ooh, look at that. Did you notice that? You got a little horizontal scrolling action happening.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just not consistent at all.
Okay. Oh, look at this. Okay, so if you go down, that code goes away. So they have a breakpoint. So they do have a breakpoint, right? They got a breakpoint between this sort of desktop tablet, this large screen interaction, scrolling interaction, and how there's a breakpoint where that turns off and goes into sort of a standard mobile, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think about that?
I mean, I guess it works for what they're trying to do. It just takes so long to get to like
Oh my goodness,
one
can you
individual
imagine?
step
Especially
or
for mobile.
yeah,
Yeah, but you know what though? I guarantee you guys scroll way faster than that on Instagram.
probably.
Right? We're so used to scrolling this way and scrolling this way to like super fast, right? On Instagram and all those other things that, yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. I also find it interesting that it's not necessarily best practices to, and not that there's anything wrong with it.
Yesterday I fell and I definitely
Hey, Carolyn.
So I called
Carolyn?
the doctor's office and they said come here today since I did
Hold on,
yesterday.
let me
and I have a
mute
follow-up
her.
scheduled with
Hold
them
on.
on Monday.
There you go. Sorry, guys. She didn't realize she was not muted. We don't need to listen to her her hospital visit. But it's not best practices to sort of these days to use a what we call the mobile hamburger menu or whatever, that's an old school term, hamburger menu. It's not really best practices to utilize that kind of menu for desktop. It just isn't. Like, it doesn't honestly, like, it doesn't serve a good purpose of like, why are you hiding the menu when you have the space to see it? So that's always kind of the argument, right? So for Marissa, for this particular case study, this is a great case study to kind of talk about here, is that most of the time, if we kind of get into usability and also accessibility, there really isn't a benefit of doing this on desktop and tablet when you have the space to show it.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right, let me see. How are we doing on time? We're doing pretty good. All right, I'm going to ask one. I'm going to volunteer before I call somebody out. Anybody want to share? Emily. Oh, Minnow. Minnow raised his hand. You got saved, Emily. Minnow, you want to share?
Drop the link in the chat.
Yeah, please do. Thank you. Let's see here. Okay, let's talk about these. All right. Hey, another law firm. Runnels Law. All right. Tell us a little bit about this. What did you find it to be responsive, adaptive, or neither?
To be honest, I didn't really check it out, but I just picked it because it's horrible. And
Right. Okay. Well, we're gonna find out here real quick. So right now, it's definitely got a max width, like Apple. So you see how it's not growing like my site, where it doesn't keep getting larger.
yeah,
Yes, it is kind of an odd color choice. All right, so we're going to rescale. Okay, so it's resizing. It's resizing. And it is responsive. Wow, Runnels Law. Good job. They do have a responsive site. But they do have, just like Apple, a max width. Okay, so things are resizing. Their text is reformatting. Good job. And then boom, they got a breakpoint. Their breakpoint is right there for sort of what they're saying mobile is, and they go all the way down. Their menu, about, blog, contact. Let's see if it's consistent with their desktop. Yeah, it's consistent. So way to go, Ronald's Law. Good job. They have a truly responsive website. Yeah, it is. It's an odd color choice. Strange. Not sure why. Wow. Holy cow. Is that their footer? Let's see. Let's see if that's their footer. Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at that footer, man. Well, I would not recommend having all of these tags in a footer, Minnow. I think that's really excessive. This is definitely a area for improvement. Strange use of space. I would love to be able to talk to them about why they did something like this. So I think this is a area of opportunity for you.
appreciate that.
Carl, did you raise your hand? You
No,
stretching?
just stretching, sorry.
Okay. All right. Great. Great class interaction. Okay, so let's jump back over here. Mobile first, talked about that. Layout grids, I'm going to go through these pretty quick here because I want us to be able to take a break. And then we're going to get into our assignment stuff. So layout grids are structural frameworks used in web design to organize and align content. They provide a consistent and balanced structure that enhances the visual appeal and usability of a website. So get this, watch this. So most of these, okay, watch this. Figma, hopefully I'm not going to eat my words here. Most of Figma's preset layouts already have layout grids. So you see over here in the bottom right where my mouse is? Can everybody see that? Yes? Yes? Okay. layout grids, you can go here and search layout grids. Or, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. You select it and you just hit the plus symbol. And it can automatically do a layout grid. Or, preferably, you select columns or rows. So, this is usually what a lot of people go ahead and put in here and add. So you can do two things. You can add not only your columns and change your columns. Okay. You can click on this and now I could go 6 columns. Boom. I can do 3 columns. Real easy. I can also add, come over here and hit the plus symbol again, and I'm going to change that to rows. Now, I want very simple rows. I only want 2 rows. So now I have a 3-column, 2-row kind of design that I can work with my wireframes and also my design. If you hop over to, like, I'll just say my website again, I kind of have a 2-column grid. So if you look at, if I would have changed this, my columns over here, I would have done 2 and 2. This is basically the structure of my site right there, if you look at it. But one thing, though, that I would have changed here is, yeah, you know, these stretch, but you can also change your heights and your margins if you want to. But this is basically the structure of my portfolio site right there. You can mimic the same thing. I'm going to go over here, layout grid, change it to columns. I'm going to change my columns to 2. I'm going to add now rows. And I'm going to only do 3 rows. So when you get into your wireframes and your real designs, these presets in Figma are extremely helpful. So now we're going to head back over here, layout grids. I explained how to do that very quickly in Figma. Fixed grids. Yeah, you can, you know, your fixed grids, you can set those up like we did with Apple. Apple has a fixed grid. They have a max width, and then they go down. Use fixed units like pixels to create a layout with specific dimensions that do not change regardless of screen size. This allows for simple and predictable layout in the implementation, but will limit flexibility. So, fixed grid, like Apple. Fluid grid, use relative units like percentages to create layouts that adjust dynamically to different screen sizes. This makes the website adapt to different screen sizes and automatically and seamlessly. Like my website, fluid grid. It is a fluid grid design. Or fluid or liquid. It's an old school term. Some people say liquid, but fluid is a more industry term. Okay. Questions. Stop. Questions. Any? This was a rather in-depth conversation. Nope.
Would fluid grids be a bad idea for, like, if you were going to have raster on your website?
You were going to have, sorry, what on the website?
Like if you're going to have raster, like images that are like set to a certain like pixelation, like if they expand, they get to like, you know what I'm saying?
I do. Well, so I feel like that I personally prefer these type of layouts, especially for marketing sites. And I'm gonna go behind the hood a little bit. So when you have your images here, like this, we got Mr. Fastbender right here from. But watch what happens when whoa, seriously, slow down. Whoa, what's going on? Slow down. All right, so let's resize here. What a proper site, and Squarespace includes it. That's why I like Squarespace. They do focal points. So what happens is you actually have a window that does resize, right? It's kind of moving like this and moving like this. And the actual image is bigger than the actual window that you're looking through. But what Squarespace does is they do focal points. Let's see if I can do it. No, I'm not going to be able to do it because it's slowing down. Let me try this here real quick. I'm going to show you. You don't have to think about this now, but this is one thing that Squarespace in any true responsive design, especially that liquid layout shaver, has to consider are focal points of images. So let's go down to, let me just go down to a simple page, one of my article pages. Okay, so I'm just going to go down here, right here, this image right here. Edit. Give it a second. It's thinking. All right. So this image right here, what you do is you can set your focal point for the liquid layout. So you see here how the image has a different size. It's much larger than the actual window. But you see that little circle right here in the middle of the image right over here? That's the focal point. So the purpose of that is because I want the user to have a focal point of the person in the camel. That's the focal point of the image. So when it resizes, that's always going to be the center of the window. So those are considerations in these designs, especially the liquid or fluid designs, are focal points of images. So your question is, when you're considering static or any kind of image, even video, you can consider focal points based off of the fluid layout. Cool. Does that answer your question? Yeah, good. Anybody else? No? All right. So assignments, and then we're going to take a break. Corporate websites. So this is what we're going to spend some time kind of diving into here after the break. We're going to do our breakout sessions, and everybody is going to share their assignment, their research and strategy. So the assignment was to do an existing website audit, competitive analysis, mood board, and site maps. I did notice that somebody edited my template again.
Yeah, I'm the asshole. I switched it back.
Emily, it was you? Right on. And guess what? I didn't touch it because the last thing I wanted to do was erase your work. So I just left it as is. All good. But I appreciate you taking it back to the original template. All right. So our next assignment is doing user personas. And I'm going to walk through this real quick before we take our break. We touched on user personas in the previous week or the week before that. I forgot which one. So the assignment here, you're going to do at least 4 personas. Okay. I don't really recommend you do more than 4 personas, but do at least 4 personas. They need to be detailed profiles that are representing key segments of your target audience. Your target audience, if you completed your creative questionnaire correctly, should have enough information to be able to identify who your personas are. And these personas should include the needs, the behaviors, the goals, pain points, and motivation. You can also include like these fake profiles, and I highly recommend that you include these sort of persona profiles. As a matter of fact, let me add that because that's an important one. Let me update that real quick. Whoops. Profile. Yeah, let's include that. You need to do a profile. So you can give the person a fake name like Catherine here and Damon. Fake names, fake ages. I mean, they're the ages based off of the persona target audience, right? So Catherine here, she is a part of our specific Mazda USA target audience. So we're saying that she is a skeptical realist. She works in finance. She has 2 kids. She's married. She lives in kind of a suburban area, and she makes over 80,000 a year. And she's 48. She is a persona target audience. And then we have some, and I shared those with everybody. I shared these Mazda target audiences with you. So you can dive into those and get into them a little bit more if you want to. So we were very, very thorough around our personas with Mazda. We also were very, very thorough around our personas for Mall of America. I don't recommend you get this detailed. This is months of work. Months of work. You don't need to get that detailed. But these are really beautifully designed by yours truly. These are student personas. So this is more of kind of where you're leaning into, okay? This particular student did this one persona of Alyssa Morgan. She's 28 years old. She's a junior accountant. She's single. Her income is $65,000 per year. She lives in San Diego. She kind of is right in between being an introvert and an extrovert. She leans more towards pretty much time. I don't quite know what that means, what pretty much time means over busy. I assume that she prioritizes her personal time over being too busy. So her bio, I love quotes. I think that's kind of cool. I hope to create a beautiful and practicing living environment through my efforts within the limited budget. And then the student broke down motivations, pain points, goals, fears, frustration. I will share these student examples with you. I'll drop those into Canvas. Okay. You do need to include a photo because that's a part of the profile of your persona, just like I've done here, because it's very important to humanize your persona. But here's one thing that's a little bit different that we did here. We broke up our personas in categories versus these fake people. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. Okay? Does that make sense? You can follow this particular direction and you can do personas based off categories. So if you have a category of a persona that you're saying is a trendsetter or deal seeker, then you can have multiple photos of the persona category like we did here. Sound good? I recommend it. I hope I see some of those. I hope I see somebody that actually has more of a category approach for their personas than just having these actual kind of fake individuals. Questions? That is going to be your next assignment.
How many of these would you like us to do?
Back here, at least 4.
Oh, thanks.
Sure, of course.
When is this?
Yes, Minna.
No, I was saying when is it due?
Say that again. You broke up.
No, I'm saying when is it due?
Oh, well, that's going to be due, I believe, next week. I'll have all of that stuff in here next. It's going to be due next week. So actually, I'll go ahead and add that in here. Let me just add that. Personas. Do what? Help me out, somebody. I don't have my calendar in front of me. Next Wednesday. What's that due date?
The 26th.
There you go. Personas due. And I'll put that in the calendar too, okay? So there you
We're
go.
doing 3 of those.
What's that?
We're doing 3 of those: the persona site thing, and the other one, the whatever else was there.
So these personas, you're doing today's assignment, the assignment that starts today, that's due next Wednesday, is creating at least 4 personas based off the examples that I've already shown and I've explained, and I'll share these student ones. These are due next Wednesday. And then you will start next week doing persona user flows and wireframes. So you know what? I'll keep it simple in here so it's not confusing. I'll just say, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Because next week you're going to be doing, based off of these personas that you're going to be doing, you're going to be doing user flows based off of these personas and also getting into wireframes. Sound good? Personally, I really, really like this part of the process of strategy and user experience because it humanizes your efforts. And what it does is it allows you to create solutions, user flows, and wireframes, and also design decisions based off of real facts. Because when you start presenting to your clients, when I presented at Mazda, and I'm presenting to executives on top of executives on top of VPs on top of presidents of Mazda from Japan, and I'm presenting, like my team and I are presenting visual designs for the first time. It's not just poof, here's visual designs, I hope you like it. No, we are stepping them through all of our decisions that we made to get us to the final design that you're looking at now. And sometimes, like, we may even only show one design. Like, most of the time, you give your client some options, but in Mazda's case, I think we only showed one visual design direction. And the reason why we only showed one visual design direction is because we had so much data to back it up that it was like, this is the right design for you. We have done enough testing. We have enough data. We have gone along this process for almost a year. This is the design that's right for you. And honestly, there's barely any changes. And Let's see. Yeah. Mazda USA. Still alive today after, I mean, this damn website's like 8 years old, I think. 8, 10 years old? Might be like 10 years old. It's insane. Wow. So, oh, and remember how I told you 1 second, Minnow, that we didn't even present the homepage first. We presented, I'll just click on this one. We presented one of the vehicle detail pages first, and we designed out. We solved from the inside out. Minnow, yes.
Now, I was gonna ask if you did that, but then you just answered my question.
Yes, I did this. And if you actually want to take a look at my case study of it, I have it off of my website here. And yeah, let me refresh my memory. We won a bunch of awards for this one. It went live in late, I think, fall of 2016, and we won almost every automobile website out there for it. It's a big one. So, yeah. And remember how I ended up telling you that after digging into it at the very beginning, we ended up kind of pulling back and we started solving for the brand. And that's what delayed the website. And we literally created, we helped them create these brand principles of premium, real, ownable. And then we defined what those were, and we created personas based off of that. And here's the UI kit. See that kind of bouncing around here, flipping through? We created a very extensive UI kit. Like it was insane, absolutely insane. It was a sight to be seen. And yeah, I mean, we completely rebuilt this thing from the ground up. It was a massive undertaking. About 2.5 years. Took about probably 2.5 years to launch. So, yeah. Anyways. Okay. Questions? We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to do breakout sessions. You need to be ready to work with your breakout team to share your assignment too, your research and strategy. So be ready to share with your team and discuss it. I want it to be the same thing as last time. If somebody from your breakout team can be the timekeeper, and I assume you're going to need more time than last time. I think I gave everybody, what was it, like, we might have maybe did like 40 minutes or something. And I don't think, I think everybody finished earlier, but it was just a creative questionnaire. But this is a much bigger assignment. So I'm assuming you're going to need a good like 45 minutes for everybody to kind of go through and thoroughly go through your assignment and truly talk about it. So when we come back here in 10 minutes, we're 12 minutes. So we're going to come back at 3 o'clock and be ready to do the breakout sessions and share your research and strategy assignment. Okay? All right. Enjoy your 12 minutes. We'll see you at 3 o'clock. Thank you. Hey. All right. Let's see here. Let me stop sharing. And, give everybody a second here to get back online. Oh, you know what? I came across this new website, guys. Let me share this. MANEKEN.app. Check this out. Oops. Has anybody seen this website? Mockups Made Easy. This one. Kind of cool, right? This one popped up on my Instagram the other day. This is extremely helpful for when you start getting into portfolio class and stuff. But even me as a professional, I could absolutely use this even today. See that? Boom. Insert any type of me. Drag and drop images into videos and GIFs directly into the mockup slot. That's pretty badass. Edit with fine-grained controls. It's pretty cool. And then export. I don't know about you, but I'm signing up. They got me. I could absolutely use this. And I'm sure, yeah, there you go. What's the pricing? Well, I bet that they will give you student pricing if you contact them. So maybe sign up for free and then contact them and see if there's student pricing. Okay? Yeah. There you go. What was that? Oh, somebody was saying something. Oh, yeah. Carl, you said negative? What was that? What do you mean?
No, because you said, has anyone seen this? And so I was like, negative.
Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't have the thing up to look at you. Yeah, so yeah, well, Janet, back in the old school days, you open up in Photoshop and you try to do it yourself, which was extremely time consuming. But this looks to be very, very easy. I'm going to share it with Sean and Bradford too, because I'm not sure if they've come across this yet. But I mean, honestly, even if you were to just, I mean, try to do it monthly, like even if you were to just use it a couple of months, it would pay for itself in the amount of time it takes to open up Photoshop and to be able to do it, which is extremely time consuming. Or to physically mock it up and then put it on a thing and then photograph it, right? Lord, yeah, that's the real old school days. So, okay. I think we got quite a few people back. It doesn't look like we got everybody back, but we got at least 21 people. Okay, so we are going to break out in our breakout rooms, and we're going to spend the next 45 minutes, about 45 minutes. Let's see here. It's 3:07. Let's see. So so let's basically say like 3:50. We're probably going to end up ending the breakout session around 3:45 to 3:50. Okay. So I'm going to do it like I always do it. This is going to be real random. And all right. See you in your breakout rooms. Get ready to share and select somebody to be the timekeeper. Let's see. Assign automatically. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there it goes. It's happening.
I clicked the wrong button. Can you send me to a breakout room again?
What happened?
I accidentally clicked no.
Oh, what'd you click no for?
Because I went to no at the same time.
It says.
I was in room 4. Oh,
Let me move you to room. It just says you haven't joined.
how do I know where to go? Meeting info? No. Oh, dang
Well,
it.
I'm going to move you to room 5. See if it redoes it.
Okay.
Did you get an invite?
town with it.
Sweet.
Sweet. Or you
Hello.
can say hello.
Hi.
All right. Should we move on to the next person?
Sure.
I can go next, but I have it in PDF. Hopefully that works if I send it because my computer is so slow to open up like Figma right now.
Because Paul, I think you forgot to allow share access to the screens again.
Wonderful. I just did.
You did it already?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Great. Okay, do you want to share your screen then?
Let's try. My computer is so slow. I've been so stressed. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, this works too. Like, if it's too much for your computer.
I'll try. You know, like when the fan is like so loud. That's like the only thing you can hear. Okay.
It's
Can you
easier
see
for
that?
it's easier for somebody else to share. Yeah. Is that what did you share the PDF?
I'm sharing my screen right now. Can you guys see that?
Yeah. I'm just saying if your computer's slow, then
Yeah.
have somebody else share it for you. If you have a PDF.
Yeah, let's do that. It's like already lagging. Sorry, guys.
Because I saw you sent a PDF, so yeah, maybe if somebody
Yeah.
could open it up and
Okay. Or we could all look at it at the same time. Okay, let me start. So I chose.
Here, I can share the screen too. Also, let's.
Yeah.
Okay.
there you go.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I chose Shelter Island Medical Group, which is like a small, like it feels like private owned medical group in Point Loma. And so the desktop screenshots, it's very busy. The background actually is like it moves, so it's like palm trees and like clouds moving. Yeah, so there's like for the staff for like the people, it only shows like one provider, which I was confused about. Usually, like I feel like there's multiple providers, so I would choose to put more information there. And basically, what I noticed from this website is that they offer a bunch of different services for like sports to family to occupational medicine, and they even do like yacht medical services, which I didn't know was a thing. So, yeah, and then the mobile screenshots, it wasn't very responsive. When it gets on a phone, you just have to scroll like for so long to get to the bottom. And they like list a lot of things like in list form, which is just like bulky and hard to read all that. So yeah, I would say it's just not responsive and the website's not great. So
super yacht
no,
meta.
yeah, and also I wanted to one thing I noticed is that there's no testimonials, which I think would be good to add for a doctor's office. For the competitive analysis, for the next part, I chose like one well-known one, which is like Scripps, and it's really big, so I kind of just wanted to see the differences between that. Between all like three of these competitors, all the colors for the websites and branding is blue, which is very normal for like medical things. So when I do my website, I think I'm gonna try to do like a little bit different of a color just to stand out. But yeah, Scripps was super great. San Diego Medical Group was actually, it's like a smaller one, and I thought their website was really great too. Super simple and straight to the point. And then the last one, Point Loma Family and Sports Medicine, is kind of similar to mine. Like their website is not great. It's kind of, they use like bad stock imagery. So I kind of just chose like one really good, like aspirational one, which would be like Scripps. And then like the San Diego Medical Group one is like very simple. So that's kind of what I wanted to go for. And then point loma is kind of like what I wanted to avoid looking like. And then what's next? This is some of my mood board. I liked like the big, like there's a statement that says transforming your care or providing care can be simpler. Like I want to like have my landing page be like a very like picture that kind of relates to health, and then like maybe come up with like a mission statement or slogan, just to like already set like a tone for when people enter the website. um, I liked that one of the websites had like an intro video for physicians to actually talk and introduce themselves. I feel like you can get a better feel for providers and like people when you actually hear them like talk and see like how they are. So I kind of would like to add that. Patient testimonials. And then the second mood board page is kind of like colors I was interested in. I feel like browns and beiges are kind of more humanizing colors because they're very neutral. I feel like they kind of feel calm, less like medical and stuff, whether it was like just like a dark blue. And then exploring like typefaces that are a little bit more interesting, but still like welcoming and approachable. And also just working a lot on the imagery, finding like people, like images of like families and people who like people reviewing the website can relate to instead of just like weird stock imagery. And I guess the last part are the sitemap. I felt like it was very busy on the navigation. They had so many different sections. So I wanted to reduce the navigation sections and then kind of make like mega navs for like services, patient resources, providers, and patient portal, things like that. Since they offer so many different services, I wanted each service to have its own page as well. So I could go in depth of what they offer. And yeah, and kind of have like a patient portal where people can pay their bills, look at their upcoming appointments, message doctors, and like get their labs, any results. So hopefully that would clean up like the navigation panel in general and like organize all that information
Hey,
better.
Brie, can you just zoom out just a little bit? Hit the yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
realized I was doing that.
That's great. Thank you.
But yeah,
Now
that's
it
pretty much.
makes it a little more clear of how she consolidated things.
Mhm.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's how I
Good job.
break it up for now.
Yeah, I like how you added in a patient portal.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of even like the smaller medical offices that I researched on, they all kind of have like their own portal, which
Yeah.
is nice.
It does seem weird they wouldn't have a patient portal.
They just have like a pay my bill tab. And then when you
How
click to it,
impersonal is that? Just give me your money.
I know, I was just like, okay.
Right.
Or like even it would link to like a third party
Do
portal
me a
site.
favor. Let's zoom into that patient portal. You got pay my bill, upcoming appointments, messaging, lab results. Yeah. I would recommend a kind of a Q&A place, like a FAQ in patient.
I have an FAQ under patient resources.
Let me see. Oh, okay, great. All right. And that's cool. Perfect.
And then also like first time visit, I saw one of the websites kind of had a tab for that that said like, here's paperwork if you want to save time to fill out here. And then like it said like bring your ID, bring your insurance card, make sure you arrive 15 minutes early. So I kind of like that page too. That eases some people's
That's great.
like, feelings when they're first time coming into the office.
Very thoughtful. Yeah, very thoughtful. Any other ideas from anybody else? This is great. This is a really smart way to focus this website and to make it more useful. I also really like the mood board of the new design direction. I couldn't agree more with a lot of your statements around it being more humanized, feeling warmer, feeling more approachable, choosing, fonts that feel more conversational, like, a lot of those serif fonts, especially like, I just love that one image at the far right, exceptional, primary care, like, that's just such a great, you know, inviting, welcoming, warm type of feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. And I love the color palette and everything in it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
done a good job.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm going to jump to another breakout room. Have fun, okay? All right.
That people kind of know like what kind of properties they're looking into.
Hello?
Future tenants. Hello?
Hey, oh, nobody has their cameras on?
We can't share our screens as well
Oh,
too.
I sent a message to everybody saying you can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
There you go.
we just like dropped the links of our Figmas so we can
Oh,
all
and your
like
messaging?
look.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's it coming along?
It is coming along.
Great.
Yeah, we have a couple more people.
Okay, good, good.
Do.
All right, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going then. I'm here to observe and give some feedback. What
All
do you
right. Yeah. Yeah, so my mood board, yeah, I just wanted it to be a little bit more like streamlined on the home page, and then on the tenants page I want it to be a little bit less like repetitive and have their like their resources for paying rent or utilities or like getting in contact for the with the property manager. I want that to be kind of like front and center. And yeah, I think the mood board photos I have, I would go with more of a like a little bit of a darker, like bluish color palette, kind of to keep it consistent with what they have, but um mix it up a little bit, make it a little bit more like modern and chic.
Yeah,
Uh,
this was like intentional, but this like cream color on your mood board,
mhm.
that to me, like when I saw that, I was like, wow, like that screams like a comfort home luxury experience, like as for like apartments. So I don't know if you were thinking about using that like creamish color, but I thought that would be great to add.
Yeah, thanks. I definitely, I mean, a lot of my photos are kind of do have that same vibe to them, so I do want to incorporate that and definitely instead of just like a like stark white.
Plain
Get
white.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, so that's my mood board. And then I'll show you the sitemap. That's the last thing. Yeah,
Your
well,
sitemap looks good.
oh, thanks. I was like kind of
can you share, Christine, so I can see?
yes.
Yeah, everybody should be able to share.
Isn't
Minnow,
it?
sorry, while you're doing that, Minnow, you had asked me. I added you.
Because I'm on my phone right now and my
Oh,
laptop
what's
is.
weird is like let me try to move. It said you're in a different room. Let me try to move you to two. Okay,
Yeah.
did you get the invite now?
Recording in progress.
There. It
I'm
was
gonna leave off this one now.
okay, perfect.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, thank you,
Oh,
Christine. I want to be able to follow along and see.
that's not mine. Wait, am I? What can you? Oh, that's my other project.
That's cool. Yeah, just find your thing. Take your time.
This is definitely not my project. Hold on. Um, where did it go? Was it the? Okay, the screen share like took my oh. Can you guys see that? Merchant property management, that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So anyways, this is my existing sitemap and it was super basic what they have. Um, yeah, the tenants tab is the only one that, well, besides the properties for lease, those are like the only two that have kind of drop down options. The tenants one has a lot going on there. And then yeah, the properties for lease is kind of, yeah, bare bones there. Also they have nothing when it comes to like the about us. There's nothing on that page at all, which kind of is a red flag because I feel like that's a good spot for them to be like showing their differentiating factor and why people should actually choose to work with them. But this is my proposed sitemap, which I also don't know if I fully did that correctly, but yeah, to have like the properties, a tab where you can like schedule a tour for properties and see like virtual tours, and then also the available properties, of course. And then for tenants, I want to have a resident portal, because they don't really have like a spot for that right now. And then like pay rent, submit maintenance request, update resident information. I don't know if I want that one to be its own tab or not, because I
That
feel
would be
like
under your profile. Like
what?
that could be under your profile if you have, you're logging in as a resident. Yeah, that
Mhm.
could just be a part of your profile. Maybe you add that
Yeah.
in, like a pro.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. But I thought I'd just like keep it there for now.
Yeah. So maybe
Um,
you update that one page where it says update resident information, and that could just be resident profile page.
okay. Yeah. Um, I can do that. And then yeah, community announcements. I don't know if I mean, yeah, I don't know if I want that to be its own tab fully either, but I mean, like based on location, I guess it's nice to have accessible announcements if you're like certain building is going.
I mean, I wonder how does everybody else think about this? Like, do you feel like that you're sort of isolating community announcements by just keeping it in the tenants, or could it live under about where like, even like anybody could access it? Because
I
what
think
if, go ahead.
makes sense because it's also like a news and alerts
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that maybe it falls under about.
Under the about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Community announcements.
Or what type of events is it that they have?
I mean, like it could be a lot of things, like if there is an event, sure, or just like if there's gonna be like some kind of maintenance where they have to shut the water off for the property, like that kind of thing. Um, or yeah, I don't know, anything like that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, also the utilities tab under tenants. I don't even know if that's like something that, well, because like I pay utilities through a fully different company like SDG&E, which isn't even connected to my like renters portal.
Right.
Like, so I don't know if that's
Yeah, that
something.
probably isn't necessary because, if you do have utility questions or anything, that could all be under submit maintenance request, things like
Okay.
that. So it's probably not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then about us, I have like our team, company values, which would also have like why they're like differentiating factor and why y they should be the ones to work with. And then I also want to have a testimonials area where it has like current and past tenants, like testimonials and reviews on working with this management company. Because yeah, a lot of the websites I looked into that were the competitors had that, and I feel like it's just a really nice addition. And then contact information would just be, yeah, like contact us, and then the office locations tab, and then a frequently asked questions tab. And yeah, that's what I've got.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
I think with those few little edits, this will, yeah, this will just be even better.
Okay. So I did that right, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
I think I was just overthinking it,
It's okay.
but
It's your first time probably, so it's all good.
yes.
Better to
Yes.
overthink things than underthink it.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm going to jump over to one of the other breakout rooms. Continue and have fun.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Hello, Professor.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Oh, there's only three of you.
We
Yeah,
were
we
four.
lost one.
What was that?
Emily was with us. She presented, but then she disappeared.
Oh, disappeared. Oh, poor thing. Okay. Well, where are you at right now? Has everybody presented?
Yeah, we just finished.
Okay, well, let's kind of give me an overview of
Do you
things.
want to see each person's Figma?
Well, I won't be able to do everybody because I got another breakout room to but just kind of give me an overview. What was sort of, do you feel like everybody kind of was on the right track? What was, what was sort of the overall review of each other?
Definitely. It feels like we all understand like our website weaknesses, what should be like changed and what works. I feel like navigation is the most problem for everyone.
Okay, I like that.
Just mine is simple, but for the other students, it's just so many information in navigation. It's just overcomplicated.
Okay. Did you work together to try to give each other some suggestions on simplifying?
Yeah, with navigation, not really. It's just hard to understand first.
Okay. You can somebody, maybe I can help real quick, and I could spend about a few minutes to maybe kind of help give a little bit of advice. Somebody want to share one of the tough ones?
Sure. We cannot share the screen.
Yeah, you should. I thought I sent out a message to everybody. I guess
Oh,
maybe.
now I can. Now I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent some kind of broadcast. I said broadcast to everyone. Man, I don't know if everybody got it.
Who had like most overcomplicated navigation?
Yeah.
I think it was Emily's.
Emily's okay.
I'll share the screen.
Yeah.
I was also a little like confused about the mood board. Is it supposed to be like what we want our website to look like, or is it just like random things we see from other websites?
Oh no, it's a mood board is intention.
Okay.
So that's really what mood boards are all like for. It's for where you want to go.
Okay.
And it can be where you're at as well, but it's more about your intention of where you want to go.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this one's wow, yeah, this has got a real bulky.
And each segment has each own like subgroups. Just so much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's also missing a search bar.
Yeah, it doesn't have a search bar. That's
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, search. Missing a search bar. You definitely can use a search bar. So, what was some of her, some of the conversations around this? Did she feel like there was, or you guys feel like there was ways to be able to kind of, because sometimes you just can't. I mean, really, when it comes to these kind of companies and the services that they provide, in the projects, they sometimes just really have a lot to showcase. It is what it is, kind of thing. But sometimes there's just really no opportunity to consolidate because it's all necessary.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same. Just sometimes it's unavoidable.
Yeah, go to client services, too. Yeah, so it's
Like,
the construction, pre-construction, right? Sustainable renovation, design, build. Yeah. I mean, a lot of this stuff is necessary to get out there because
Mm-hmm.
some of these people are just really interested in all of that. Like, go to the about. Yeah, what we do, partnerships, diversity and inclusion, who we are, awards. I mean, I don't know. I guess there could be something to say about some of these could just be put in the footer and don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to be sitting at that level in the about page. But it's really it's kind of really up to what the client truly feels like is important.
Mm-hmm. I feel
So
like we could take some of this from About Us and just put it in a welcome page because the welcome page is almost empty. There's nothing.
sure, okay, yeah.
Like the websites I checked for,
Are you talking
like,
about the homepage?
yeah. Like this is a homepage, like welcome,
Mhm.
and like you can put the awards somewhere here. I feel like,
Yeah.
or
Or just in the footer, but it just like sometimes these kind of things when you think about like, if open it up again, open up the about.
yeah,
Um, you can just have conversations with the client and go, okay, well, if our target audience, if we're defining what our target audience is really interested in, um, maybe some of these things can just sit in the footer. It's like, of course, what we do and like what we do and who we are. I almost feel like those two could be consolidated
yeah,
a bit. Partnerships, commitment to safety, company history, like, company history also could be a part of who we are.
mm-hmm.
All right. So you see where you start kind of going, wait a minute, maybe there's some opportunities to consolidate that, but maybe like awards and diversity, equity, and inclusion could just sit in the footer.
Yeah.
So yeah, there definitely could be some opportunities to consolidate and sort of shuffle some things around. But yeah, I mean, like in that APX hockey site, they had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of sub pages, and there was just those mega navs that were just there because those pages were really important to access from the main
Yeah.
app. So yeah, those are always challenges. So
Yeah, and I feel like she made it like this is the original one,
yeah,
and that's hers.
okay. So she made some
Yeah.
recommendations. Okay, cool. Project experience
it looks way
content.
more organized.
It
Mm-hmm.
does. It looks way more organized. Let me see the previous one.
Yeah, this is the original.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, there's just so many nav items. Yeah. Yeah, I think she did a good job with that.
The
Cool.
same with the Ezekiel's website is
Ezekiel,
that
you
about
too? You had a
healthcare.
lot.
It's just so many links.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot of links.
Well, my website does have a search bar, but still, there's still a lot of links.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't even use search bars with websites. They just
Oh, there's
because
a search bar. It's
it,
hidden.
if you look at kind of the common heat patterns of websites, have you ever heard of that? A heat pattern? So
Keypad?
if you look at like the way that most people navigate, they start with the top left and only their eyes only scan about halfway across, and then they start sort of going in a zigzag pattern.
Yeah.
Most of the time, searches aren't even used.
Hmm.
Unless like you have a site like Airbnb where the search feature is the prominent call to action. Then those kind of sites, they're used quite a bit, but most of these sites, searches are not even used.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like I do the same. I only use the search bar when I know what I need. You just,
Right.
yeah.
And most people are first-time users. So yeah, so kind of scroll across these. There's a lot of sub pages, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, Ezekiel, you picked a bad one, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I That's what I thought too.
Oh man.
It's weird that there's a search bar within a drop
Right?
down, and there's also a search bar up there.
I'm
Weird.
sure that if you did the SEO on this, the studying, um, the usage of the search is probably very minimal. So, yikes. Well, I'm sure that was a big one to tackle, huh, Ezekiel, for your sitemap.
Yeah, this creating the sitemap was the most tedious thing I've
I
ever
can
made.
imagine. I bet it was. Yeah. I'm sure your e-commerce site won't have so many pages in it, right? All right. Well done. I got to jump over to one of the other rooms, okay? Have
Super.
fun.
Thanks so much.
You bet. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
How did it go? Are you still going through your assignment?
Um, yes, we're looking at my assignment. I posted the link on the chat.
Did
So
you get
individually,
my
we're
message
looking.
about being able to screen share? Most people, for some reason, didn't get my message.
No, we were having trouble sharing
Yeah,
screens
it
in the
was weird,
beginning.
man. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but yeah, I activated screen share like at the beginning, but nobody got the message.
Oh.
So, oh well.
Yeah, we've just been going through the links in the chat and
Okay,
just
gotcha.
yeah.
So Diane, you said you were kind of walking through yours.
Yeah, I was in the existing website audit inside this link.
Okay.
I was gonna talk about the mobile
Screen share
screenshots,
for the
which is
next few
down
minutes.
below.
Okay. Could you screen share, please, for the next few minutes?
Okay.
Thank you. Good. Excellent. Thank you.
And for mobile screenshots, the website is not responsive.
Right, exactly. I remember us talking about that. Yeah, this one was bad. Okay.
Yeah, through because it's not responsive, all this text becomes shrunk and it's very hard to read.
Very hard to read, right? Good. Yeah, it just
And
doesn't work. Good job.
So I wrote down the key learnings. For the usability was, I guess, simple. It really emphasizes the use of a search bar where you just look for the products and stuff they have. And the visual design, they only make use of two colors, the blue and white,
Yeah.
and
Very
maybe some
conservative,
vector
isn't it?
art and
Yeah.
imagery.
Yeah. Very conservative and outdated.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And for the competitive analysis, I do think I would like to take inspiration from these competitors.
Okay.
For this website called Zorro, it's another marketplace to purchase tools for an industry. This website is aimed towards industry or business owners.
Yeah.
Andy. In Zorro, the information is a lot more organized, and they included a small menu bar, like a hamburger menu, which you can pull down and look through the categories of their product listings. Their website layout was more responsive than than the existing websites. For the next competitor, it was just called Thomas. They, yeah, their website was a lot more responsive than my existing website.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this one featured better buttons or links to move on to different pages, which was very handy. And and it clearly made a fluid navigation through their like sitemap. This last competitor, the website was a little outdated.
Oof. Yeah.
I think their design was not responsive either. But yeah, their whole website can be captured in just this small screenshot.
Sure. Yep.
So they only prioritize their search bar. And what I also liked how their search menu was categorized under these few sections, which was a lot clearer and easier to navigate through.
Right.
For the next for the mood board, I pulled out my images from the websites found in the class's presentation.
Okay.
Here I selected a few images that may inspire that can become inspiration for the mobile version of the existing website. Just simplify the whole menu and probably just incorporate a hamburger menu and really organize the information into categories instead of a long list. These through this mood board, I noticed that they make more use of imagery, unlike my website, the existing one. They don't really use a lot of images, so maybe with this new version of the website, I can include more imagery to make it look to not overwhelm the user with information and so much text.
Good.
Here, these layouts seem to be more simpler and clear. So maybe I can organize the information or reduce it to just simple buttons. So maybe I thought maybe I can use a whole image for the home page for the hero section and just place the menu on the top of overlapping with an image in the background. Or I can just use a solid color for the background and just place text. So, I think the goal is to create a simpler, easy to navigate homepage to appeal to these business owners, right? To help them make a quick purchase.
Good job.
For the imagery, I could probably use storage backgrounds or close-ups of machinery, and feature these and feature the happiness of customers. These customers were fulfilled because they purchased on this website. For the sitemap, I struggled to create this sitemap, but I only I used this Figma tool, which allowed me to pull out another member's
Good.
sitemap, which was really handy.
Good for you. Good job.
Yeah. So I just I think I exported the file, the image, and here I placed it. So for this sitemap, I mapped out the whole navigation of my existing website.
Good.
I didn't create another version of what it could look like.
Do you feel like there's no improvements that could be made?
I probably there could be a
Yeah,
few improvements.
sure. Okay. Well, just consider that. I mean, I know it's a really large website, but um, you know, definitely makes, take a look at it. If you feel like there's some improvements, then make those. A lot of times there are ways to consolidate pages. Most of the time, especially these dated websites, as dated as yours, there are probably a lot of empty pages and redundant pages. So because your website is so old, I'm sure there's probably a lot of improvements to be made. So yeah, I do recommend you give it a try and do your best to try to make some recommendations.
Yeah, with the sitemap, I only wanted to look at the layout of the whole website to clearly understand what was going on.
Yeah. It's a big feat, isn't it? It's hard. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work mapping out these big websites.
Yeah.
So, well, awesome. I got to jump to the last room, and then we're going to be ending this here in a couple of minutes. Okay. Thank you very much. You guys continue.
The Friday, no, it's kind of odd.
Hey, everyone. Sorry, we're
Hello.
kind of coming to an end here in just a couple of minutes. How did everyone do?
We're all pretty wide-eyed with the site mapping stuff.
Yep.
But I think all of us sharing with what we've all done with it have a more general, simpler approach to it not being the entire website.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, as a matter of fact, my last breakout room, the one student realized that in the breakout room before that, there were quite a few people that just picked sites that were way too big. And they were kind of biting off more than they could chew, and they didn't realize it until they had to dig into the site map. So yeah, it's yeah, it's a big feat, like mapping out a site and then evaluating it and doing an audit. Um, just drop it off. Thanks, man. But it is no small task at all. Lots of respect for user strategy when it comes to that. How about mood boards? Everybody understand? Like they got those down? That seemed a little bit more doable and easier.
Yeah, I was cruising through all of that, the analysis of the existing site and the competitors and the mood boards.
Yep.
This is actually, so I usually struggle with mood boards a lot in all my previous classes. They just have stressed me out and I never seem to like get them. But this time I think they actually turned out well and they'll actually be helpful. So that was nice.
Good. That's good. Excellent. Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the breakout rooms because we're coming down to it and I just need a couple minutes to end the class. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and end everything and it'll take a minute or two to close all rooms. All right. See you later.
All right. See ya.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Where's my Zoom? Let's move all this stuff over. I don't need any of that. That. Think we almost got everybody. Does it look like everybody's back?
No, it looks like we went down from 22.
Maybe we still got people that haven't joined us. Maybe they're still stuck in a room. Hold on. Let's give it just another minute. Okay, well, we got to wrap it up here. All right, so basically what I ended up seeing across all the breakout rooms and quite a few times is there were several people that now that they got into the site mapping, they might now question why they selected such a large site. and they might have bit off a little more than they could chew, just at least on this assignment. It doesn't, like, moving forward though, it doesn't really matter because you're only going to be designing 2 pages anyways, but it is a good exercise. I know that, I've got somebody had a healthcare site and boy, did they have a lot of pages to deal with. Diane, you had a lot of pages. We looked at your site map and man, I mean, there must have been like 40 some pages or something that you ended up having to outline. So it was a lot to deal with. But that is the reality. Sometimes that's just the case. It is what it is. But moving forward, it's okay. You're not going to have to tackle all that stuff. That just was the exercise and it is what it is. But of course, moving forward, you're only going to be doing wireframes and designs for only 2 pages of your website. Okay. So, your upcoming assignment is, we already talked about it, going to be the user personas. So that is starting now, today. So go ahead and get started on that. I'm going to be sharing the student examples. I've already shared my professional examples of the Mazda USA and the Mall of America. Next lecture is going to be around web typography. And also, as a reminder, I will be teaching the Monday class, but Bradford is going to be teaching the Wednesday class because I won't be available. I will, of course, be teaching the following week. So, cool. Anybody know who Dieter Rams is? Nope. All right. More design history. I'm always throwing design history because you should know the past. You need to understand your past to be able to influence your future because everything is a cycle. You ever heard of the brand Braun? Braun shavers? Braun stuff? Anybody? Yeah. Well, Dieter Rams is one of the most famous product designers in history. He was their lead product designer and brand designer back in the 60s. And if you look up Dieter Rams and Braun, you will see that your iPhone and the design of your iPhone, and when they approached the design of all of Apple products follow the principles of Dieter Rams. The Apple brand, the product design, their philosophies, everything follows the principles of Dieter Rams. And if you look at the designs he used to do for Braun back in the day, you will see that there are some very, very obvious similarities between the product designs of Apple today and Braun of yesterday. So the 10 principles of Dieter Rams: good design is innovative. Good design makes a product useful. Good design is aesthetic. Good design makes a product understandable. Good design is unobtrusive. Good design is honest. Good design is long lasting. Good design is thorough down to the last detail. Good design is environmentally friendly. And finally, good design is as little design as possible. I would say that's the most debatable. So, but these are great design principles to remember and think about, especially in what we do whenever it comes to usability and interaction design. And knowing your history is just as important as knowing your present day. So Dieterams is a great one to bookmark. Thank you. Last minute questions? No? Okay, good job, everyone. And I'll post everything here in the next day. Minnow, you had a quick hand raise?
Yeah, I noticed in the example you showed it has like the little circles with percentages and all that cool stuff. We gotta incorporate that as well, or we just gotta do the typing part.
Those were just examples. Are you talking about these
Yeah,
kind
all
of
the little
things?
circle stuff and yeah, all that. Do we gotta do all that or?
I mean, you can if you feel like it applies to your own persona. These design infographics were specific to this one. So you're going to design your personas based off of how you feel like you want to design them. They could be as simple as these. Oops. Or if you feel like you need to go more in depth with your design, then they could maybe be as thorough as these. I also mentioned that you're more than welcome to not just focus on individuals, you can focus on persona categories. So I'm leaving it up to you to be able to do either one. So let's see. Sorry, did I see something pop up here? Real clients from our site. Ezekiel, you said, do the personas need to be real clients from our site? Your personas need to be real personas based off your target audience. These are based off your target audience in your research. And yeah, they can be from the real site for sure, but they're truly based off of your research of your target audience, and your research of your competitors, and your research of your current site, and everything, like your information from your creative questionnaire. Okay? That makes sense? If you have any additional questions, definitely send me a message. All right. We're a little bit over. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.